is Mike Dixon. And Mike is currently working on asset management strategies and investment for EDF Energy, EDF Energy's 3 electricity distribution networks, serving East Anglia, London, and the South East. He's a chartered engineer and is the chair of his local parish council. And he's going to speak on electricity distribution in the low-carbon economy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Dixon.
Where are we? Right. Thank you very much. I have to say, in the final point there, I'm chair of my local parish council. I was absolutely transfixed by that last presentation, and I'll be cracking the whip at my meeting tonight. I'm here, as Richard said, my name's Mike Dixon. I'm here as a representative of your local network operator, and we're going to talk about the electricity distribution network and how that's going to have to adapt to the uncertain future and certainly the projected low-carbon economy. Agenda, I've still got 20 minutes here. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the industry, very briefly talk about investment planning cycles and the asset lives of our network, talk about some potential energy futures, some of the innovations which the industry is already developing, and then summarize that. And the organisers also asked me to briefly talk about the allowance for undergrounding overhead lines in protected areas. So hopefully I'll have the time to deal with that at the end. So very briefly, the organisation of the electricity network industry in the country. There are 14 licensed networks which cover the country. We're regulated economically by Ofgem, the Office of Electricity and Gas Markets. And as you'll see there in the southeast corner, EDF Energy operates 3 networks. That's here in the what was the old Seaboard network, so Kent and Sussex. We also operate the London network and the network in East Anglia. We have around 8 million customers connected to the networks, and there's something of the order of 160,000 kilometers of circuit within those networks. There's been a lot of discussion about what it is that this low-carbon economy is going to deliver for us. Within the industry core objectives which we have, you'll see there at the end, we have an objective to play a full role, or indeed it says there a fuller role, in helping to tackle climate change. And it's the innovation and the R&D which is being sponsored into research to support the low-carbon economy, which I'm going to spend more time on. The other objectives are obviously to continuously improve customer service. We have a great many guaranteed standards of service which we have to meet. And within networks, we are tasked to produce the network which will be adaptable into the future, but delivered at an efficient cost. There's been a lot of discussion about where this carbon future is going to go, what may be solutions. What's obvious for me as I was preparing this presentation and thinking about what I was going to say was just to make a point here that in this rather crude graphic, I apologize for my expertise in this, but at the bottom there we have our 5-year economic regulatory cycle. That's the business basis upon which we work, 5-year chunks of investment. If you go up the scale there, the heat pump that you install today, you may get a 5-year guarantee on. If we carry on up there, I believe there's generally a 20-year guarantee on photovoltaic panels that you put in. I defer to Sir Crispin's view on gas supplies. I found a 20-year view on that somewhere, but that's obviously to be discussed. Going all the way up that scale, the point I wanted to make there is that within all of the futures and scales of investment that people are making, and if we choose to invest in something now, maybe we'll be replacing in 20 years' time. If we commission a substation or a cable this week, we're expecting it to still be giving service 40, 50 or more years hence. And that is a challenge in making sure that that is also adaptable to the uncertainty which is ahead of us. And also, that challenge equally applies to the network that we've already installed. So something which we installed in 1980 with 1980 technology is still expected to be flexible and adaptable to the future as it comes to get us. So in terms of there, we have an offshore wind farm, for instance, which is financed on a 20-year basis. It's expected to last 20 years. The substation which receives the import from that wind farm is expected to last typically 40 or 50 years and is also funded on that basis. So when it comes to replace the wind turbines with, who knows, perhaps a higher rated unit or something of that nature, our assets are still there and needing to deal with that. Another one of the papers I read recently concluded by saying, and it was talking about the energy future, and the conclusion was, if we'd written this conclusion 10 years ago, we would have been talking more about a hydrogen-based energy economy. If we'd concluded this 4 years ago, we'd have been talking more about bioenergy. But we've written it this year, and we're talking about the decarbonisation of electricity supply for transport and for heat energy. So that's where we are. Suddenly, the decarbonisation of electricity supply is the main focus. And in terms of, I'm sure we've all seen numerous graphic descriptions of this. This is our particular version. In talking about the smart house, the smart grid, demand-side management, the future, this is how it could look. That we have in the house possibly your micro CHP or a fuel cell, the wind, the photovoltaics that we've already been talking about here, electricity and gas metered, and a control and communication system that both takes account of the energy requirement in the house and indeed the energy production in the house, and would control smart appliances. And would also produce the energy that may even run the heat pump if indeed we're going into that scale of local production. And it's that particular ability to command and control flexibly which is seen to be the key for how to develop and indeed control the development of the distribution network into the future. And yeah, we've all had Economy 7 nighttime tariffs and things of that nature. This is a completely different prospect where things are being controlled in real time. And in terms of the distributed energy resources and the feed-in tariff now, which is creating a great deal of interest, we thought I think this figure that was the figure we stated to Ofgem in our submission last year. We thought that maybe around 5 megawatts would qualify for the feed-in tariff. That's possibly looking a little conservative. I don't know.